Hello, Amanda here, and we are coming to you from sunny Florida. We have made the transition and are waiting for our furniture and such to arrive yet. But this is the club card pieces parts that I sent for June, and I cut them in May, and so I did a lot because I don't know what's going to happen with June. We'll see how late I am, but most of today's video is going to be how to assemble the pieces parts that I sent. The first thing that I did is kind of separate stuff out so that I could see what I had. And then with the two-tone cardstock colors, you can see that there's a light side and a dark side. And so it's really up to you how you want to intermingle those colors. One was done out of cocoa cardstock, and I believe one was done out of mocha cardstock. So, and then there's, I think, evergreen. And I also think there was avocado for some of the leaves. So just play around with it and see what works for you, what you like, what you don't like. And then once I dry fit all of these, as you can see, you can make them so that the handle is on the left or on the right. I go ahead and some of them I assemble first and then I ink the edges. Others I ink the edges and then assemble. And the difference of them is really kind of the look that you're looking for. With the coffee cups, I wanted to ink the edges last just because they're 3 layers, and then you get the white core of the cardstock is hidden because you've inked the edge on that thickness. The leaves are the same way that I do it. Some of the things that I inked beforehand were the flowers, and that as you're adding those layers, if you haven't inked the inside of them first, then you can't do that, and you kind of lose that shadowing effect that the inking does. So I wasn't sure what went with what as far as layers go. All of these cuts, I believe, come from, I don't remember because it's been so long and there's been a few things that have happened in my world. I will try to look that up. I'm not sure if I'll be able to find it. But if I can, I'll put the information in the description. It's one of the new Cricut image sets. And I'm not sure which one. Sorry. So here I'm just kind of piece parting, and hopefully you can see what I'm adding on top of which layers. And I'm also went through and poked out any of the pieces that didn't fall out, like on the coffee cups or the inside of these flowers that have all the holes in them. All of those work together. And I did send you more flower images than are on the picture that's with the instructions that I sent. And here you can see that I'm inking the edges of these individually because as you stack them, then you get more of the depth of color. And then this is a flower that I'm going to assemble and I will ink later. So you just have to decide what works for you. And there were some centers from other, shapes that were included in the envelope, and I didn't know if I wanted to use those as centers of flowers or not. So it's up to you what you want to use and not use. And there should be, for the most part, 2 of everything. The 6-petal flowers at the top is what I used as my fill-in on sheets so that you could have extra of those for whatever project you wanted. So I have gotten to the point that I know what flower shapes and centers I'm going to put together. And like I said, they might not match the picture that I sent. That's kind of the joy of this. It's your project. You can have it come together how you want. In here I'm showing you that I'm inking the outside of the coffee cup after it's assembled, and I'm just kind of using the sponge to poke in through the handle there. And once I get these done, I'm not going to make you watch me do all of them. Then I will give you some like dry fitting suggestions or recommendations for how you might want to assemble your shapes, but it's really up to you what you want to do. So I did all the ones that I needed to assemble first, and now I did the ones that didn't need any more gluing. So I'm just going to go ahead and stack these up and kind of give some recommendations of how you might want to create your card base. I did not include any kind of sentiment, so that's up to you to do. But for the 3 stack here, which to me would be a very special card. It would be somebody's super special milestone birthday or anniversary or something would be coming up. Because sometimes, I'm stingy, and I don't mean to be, but I'm stingy with my shapes. And if you have that same issue, it's okay. We have enough paper. We can always make more. I'm trying to get to that philosophy. But But you audition where things go. I'm kind of following what's in the photo. Obviously, I didn't do exactly the same colors, but just kind of giving it some movement to how the leaves are on there. So there's option 1. And now if you take one of the coffee cups, you can have just a single coffee cup offering. And I'm going to make a little vignette of flowers again. I love these leaves, by the way. So they cut out beautifully on my Cricut Air 2. I'd say that just because everybody's like, oh, the older Cricuts don't cut well. Well, mine seems to cut really nice. These particular shapes cut great. And you would have lots of room to stamp a sentiment on top of that. Or even, I thought what would be cool is to do like a sign with one of the longer greetings on it with these single cup card fronts. And here I'm just taking the leftover flowers and doing it without any kind of cup, so that you have that option as well. If you decide to do the 3-cup stack, you can still probably have more than enough flour to do another card with the vignette. And I do hope that as you finish your cards that you will post these on the Crafting with Amanda, our group, so that other people can see them and gain inspiration from what you've done. I believe I use the Mocha ink, by the way, to ink all the edges. I think any of the greens would work. You could even do the Dusty Rose, I think is one of the colors that I used, or the Mulberry would work if you want to have more of pink tones to your projects. So there you go. So you've now seen the 3, 2, 1, and 0 option of the coffee cups. I didn't glue any of these down. I just packed my pieces up and got them on the moving truck. Here's where you can connect with me. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I'm doing this to get my scrapbook pages and my crafty outlet. Thanks for stopping by. Blessings.